The Lucky Leopard is today's story that I'm going to read. It is written by Andrea Florens and Clara Nordine. It is also an African folk story. Long, long ago in Africa, there lived a leopard. His name was Lengau, and he was the biggest, most beautiful leopard in the land. Not far from Lengau's home, there lived an old king. The king was very troubled because he could not sleep. He was so tired, but still the poor old king could not fall asleep. He called all the wise men in his kingdom to find the answer that would help him to fall asleep. Only one wise man had an answer. This wise man told him to cover himself with the skin coat of an animal, but it could not just be of any animal. It had to be the skin of the biggest, most beautiful leopard in the land. With this skin covering him from head to toe, he would fall asleep immediately. And so the king sent his warriors to find the biggest, most beautiful leopard in the land. After 2 long days of searching, the warriors found a waterhole. And what did they see on the other side? The biggest, most beautiful leopard they had ever seen. Quickly, one of the warriors grabbed his assegai and threw it with all his might. It landed with a great thud next to Lengau's paw. The chase began, Lengau leaping from tree to tree as fast as he could, but the warriors and their dogs were always just behind him. Eventually, Lengau managed to get away from the warriors and their dogs. The sun had gone and the night was dark. Exhausted and scared, poor Lengau sat high up on the rock and wondered what to do to save himself. Just at that moment, he heard the wild laughing of hyena across the valley. Now Lengau was not very fond of hyena, but he knew that hyena was a clever creature, so he decided to ask him for help. So he went to hyena to seek his advice, and hyena said, "I've always wanted the king's sheep for my farm, and with your help I'll get them. Follow me and do as I say." Off they went to the king's village, where they stole 5 of the king's woolliest sheep and led them back to hyena's sheep farm. Hyena then told Lengau to go and hide. The next night, hyena came to Lengau's hiding place, and there hyena unrolled the most beautiful leopard skin before his eyes. Lengau was confused, but hyena laughed and told Lengau how his wives had cut the wool off the sheep and had sewn and painted it to look like a leopard skin. Hyena then called his friends the owls, who picked up the fake leopard skin and flew to the warriors, who were so exhausted from the chase that they were fast asleep. The owls then carefully laid the skin next to the sleeping men and flew away. The next morning, the warriors couldn't believe their luck. How the biggest, most beautiful leopard skin came to them, they did not know, but the exhausting search was over. Back to the king's village they went, the biggest, most beautiful leopard skin in their arms. The king was overjoyed. He praised the warriors and rewarded them with a feast. Then the king hurried off to his bedroom and covered himself from head to toe in the biggest, most beautiful leopard skin he had ever seen. Later that night, the king's snores could be heard for miles and miles around. Lengau sat high on a rock that night. When he heard the snores of the king, he took a deep breath in and out, and he laid down to rest. How lucky he was, safe again in his big and beautiful spotted skin. Bye.